edile. Edile means edible, and it's one of the smallest cones of this genus. But this is two female cones, which is unusual. They were both pollinated, and it's ready to harvest even though it's only January. So I'm going to take the top off, and this is what's on the inside. Tons of these seeds, 2 of them for each of these, right? So, this is the Sarcotesta, the yellow. This is edible, raw, but don't try it.
It's edible, but don't try it?
Yeah.
Until you
Not
do.
very sweet. Some of these of this species and other species are sugary. This one is not. So this one was used, you can dry this, grind it up and make it into a tortilla.
It's not like it was horrible.
Without processing. No, but this isn't, it's not really ripe yet.
Yeah.
They just spit out. Okay, so going into this is the actual, what they're looking for. So this isn't quite ripe probably, although it is breaking apart. So I think, yeah, the Sarcotestas of the species aren't that good, at least around here. So I'll see if I can break it apart. And let's get to the inside of it. And this is what people want right here. So I'm going to break these things apart. This is very, very poisonous. If you were to eat this, you would get sick. If I were to lick my fingers.
So why do people want it?
Well, because it's got an enormous amount of carbohydrates.
So you have
so like cassava and so forth. So you need to leach it. Ash or lime. Also, you can do it in the sunlight, in water. You can bury it underground. Different cultures have different ways of doing it. But here they're going to ash wash it. So they're going to boil this stuff with ash. Ash from oak trees and so forth. Different types of species that are good for ash. And then when it's at the point that they have detoxified it, and they have different ways of measuring it after a day or two, then they will grind it up. So these won't be ground first. They'll be just like these seed chunks. They'll boil these. Then when they're ready, and they'll be kind of grayish from all the ash, then they'll grind those, put those through a hand grinder, and make it into a nixtamal, which is the wet meal. Or you can dry it out in the sun and use it as a flour. You can mix it with wheat flour or corn flour and so forth. Or you can make a drink out of it. You can add sugar and you can make a drink out of it.
So it's not like acorns that aren't poisonous, they're just too bitter to like.
Yeah, no, it's definitely,
toxic.
This is one of the most toxic ones, so definitely wash your hands before sucking your thumb. And then also you get these that did not develop here. In Honduras they call these granos vanos, I don't know what they call them here, but these are little seeds that didn't grow, didn't get fertilized or whatever. And that's the long and the short of it. So Sarcotesta, Sclerotesta is the hard part, and then the inside seed is the testa.
So if you were out in the wilderness and starving, these wouldn't save you.
These would. This
would.
could, because you could make some sort of a food out of that. And so these would naturally, they're bright colored because birds particularly like them to eat this, and that's one of the main ways from here. This is how you would have them dispersed. Brown jays. Other types of jays have been observed. No one's ever done a study on. Another thing I wanted to send someone here and just get them to watch and see what birds did it. Mice will take these a lot and cache them, and so they're dispersed by caching, C-A-C-H-I-N-G, and also by water and gravity and so forth, since they mostly grow on slopes.